Hello and welcome to our PvHub 2.0 walkthrough. To get started using PvHub 2.0, you will first need to have your username and password handy. This would have been provided to you by a 1KOMMA5 team member prior to installation or created for you by your installer on the day. Let's begin. When you open the app, the first thing you see is the login screen. Enter your username and password. The default password is 6 zeros, 000 000. So if you haven't changed it yourself, this is most likely the password. You will need to agree to the privacy policies and terms and conditions to sign in. Once you are happy to proceed, tick the box and tap the Sign In button. Welcome to the home screen. Here you will find information about your system's current status and performance. At the very top you will find the name of your plant. This will most likely show up as your name or your property's address. Below your plant's name you will find 3 status indicators. We have normal. This will show as offline if your system disconnects from the Wi-Fi. On grid. This will turn to off grid if you are currently in a blackout. During a blackout, your battery will take over and start powering your backed up circuits. The third shows your chosen work mode. More on that later. Below you can see PV. This is how much your system is currently producing. Battery. The battery icon shows you the percentage that your battery is charged. Load. Here you've got your load. The load shows how much power your house is currently consuming. Grid. This section will show you how much your home system is interacting with the grid, depending on whether you are sending power to the grid or purchasing power from it. Total PV yield. That's your total solar production for the day so far. You'll see total revenue here. If you've entered what your feed-in tariff is, total revenue will calculate how much you have made. Self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is how much of your usage for the day has been covered by your solar. Self-consumption shows the percentage of power produced that has been self-consumed. If you tap on Quick Settings near the bottom of the screen, it will open at least 4 options. Charging time, which is if you are force charging your battery at any point. This could be in preparation for a storm or if you're with a power company that has a deal that allows you to charge at certain times of the day. You can set that up through here. You can create times during the day to force charge, enable charge from the grid, and you can set the target amount that you wish to charge the battery to. Next up, there is battery reserve capacity. Your battery reserve is how much of your battery you set aside in case of a blackout. This is power that your battery won't use day to day. But if you have a blackout, you'll have a portion of your battery stored away to get you through until your solar can start producing energy again. The system minimum state of charge is a portion of the battery that is not available during a blackout. This is kept aside for the health of the battery. Your battery getting down to absolute zero is quite detrimental for it. So it is best to set aside just a little bit to extend the life of your battery. The bottom setting is work mode. This one should always be set to self-use. The other options are feed-in priority. This is where you would decide that you want to feed in overcharging your battery. Backup and peak shaving. These are settings that you'll probably never use. Self-use is the option you'll most likely have it set to. This will ensure that you are charging your battery, covering your usage, and feeding back to the grid to get your feed-in tariff. From this page, if you swipe left, you will navigate to the Energy Statistics page. Under Production, you can see how much energy your system has produced, the percentage of that energy that is currently available for self-consumption, and the amount of energy that has been exported to the grid. Under Consumption, you will find the amount of energy that you have consumed, the percentage of that energy that was produced by your solar system, and the amount of that energy that has been purchased from the grid. Scroll down to see a detailed graph outlining the performance of your system throughout the day. If you tap on the graph at any time throughout the day, as indicated along the bottom, you will see an in-depth pop-up that details your system's production and consumption at the chosen time of day. Whilst your homepage on the app updates at 10-second increments, data from your inverter is being sent back to the PvHub app every 5 minutes. The homepage is a great indicator of what is happening with your power, but it is good to keep in mind that it's not 100% accurate all the time. The best way to know what is happening with your system at any time is by checking this graph. Below that, you can see your environmental impact. This will indicate the CO2 reduction, the equivalent of how many trees you've planted, and the oil saved by having a solar system. If you go to your Device tab at the bottom, you've got your inverter, your battery, and your Wi-Fi dongle. Here, they will show us offline if you are having any connection issues with those devices. They'll also read fault if there are any faults with your system. The final tab down the bottom right is Me. This has WLAN configuration. If your solar is ever disconnected from the Wi-Fi and showing as offline, this option takes you through the process to reconnect. We have a detailed video explaining this process, available on our support page. In Data, you can create a specific report on your system's production for a chosen period of time. This can be done by day, by week, by month, or for a custom time period. If you would rather not enter the serial number of the system, you can press this button. If you press this, it will access your device's camera, which you can then use to scan the QR code on your system. Below that, you've got faults. Here you can see any current faults as well as your history. The About tab has your app information, such as terms and conditions, privacy policy, and what version of the app you're on. Finally, there is System Settings. This is where you can set your language, change your password, and cancel your account. You would only ever cancel your account if you've had your 1K5 system removed. If you have any further questions, please contact the 1KOMMA5 team or head to our support page. Thank you for choosing 1KOMMA5.